What the hell is that?
So the rumors swirl again. This is the same rumor, but from has been expanded upon by someone with their own sources, basically confirming the rumor, but with additional information. So apparently, Henry Cavill is not happy with Warhammer's introduction of female Adeptus Custodes. That makes sense. Apparently, it's Amazon. They wanted female Space Marines, and the compromise was no, but you can get Custodes. Henry Cavill apparently is not going to walk, but he's not happy. So let's just take a look, because basically the original sort of rumor / leak came to us from 4chan. People instantly discount 4chan, but it's important not to. The Rise of Skywalker, for instance, that was pretty much entirely leaked on 4chan and Reddit, right? That was all legit. There have been numerous completely legit leaks on these websites. You know, some of these are more legit than mainstream media, and they're lies and sort of partisan nonsense. But anyway, it originally came to us on 4chan, and now Archcast has come out and said he has an inside source at Amazon MGM, and they've discussed some stuff with him. So he says, my Amazon insider has given me some more information in regards to the female Custodes debacle and Amazon's involvement in it, which may, at least in part, exonerate Games Workshop. According to my insider here, the attitude at the Amazon Games Workshop meetings reached downright threatening levels, where the two sides were not happy with one another at all, with Games Workshop actually pushing back quite aggressively on the idea of female Space Marines, probably understanding to do so would be devastating to their company. I mean, look at the sheer scale of the shitstorm that was created by female Custodes, which is not anywhere near as massive a faction as the Space Marines. Games Workshop, knowing this would be a terrible idea, pushed back a lot, but Amazon were not willing to give up on this either, and may have carried out various little tactics, like threatening to bring back people on Amazon who were selling third-party goods for 40k related stuff, as they did even take down things like alternative dice sellers, and people were selling bases and so on. That might have been a thing, and they might also have perhaps been talking about leaving the conversations altogether. Eventually, the insider says Games Workshop caved in part, and the female Custodes was a compromise solution intended both to ameliorate relationships with Amazon by going, okay, how about this? You'll have your female power armor, but we won't do it with the Space Marines, okay? And also as a way to demonstrate to Amazon that this was not going to go over very well. So, and then apparently there's some other nonsense with some other bits and pieces, blah, blah, blah. It's not that important. But then he talks about Henry Cavill. Says, as for Henry Cavill, I've also heard something related to him now, namely that he is quite upset about this change. He's pissed at it, but he is not going to walk. Bearing in mind that we don't even know if it is possible for him to walk at this point, as his introduction and, you know, co-starring and producing in this was one of the earliest fundamental pieces of news about the Amazon Games Workshop TV show. For all we know, he could be bound hand and foot by contractual obligation and penalties at this point. Alternatively, again, well, it's an Amazon paycheck. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, he's I mean, the Adeptus Custodes are his faction. That's what he plays as. Thoughts? I mean, look, it's Amazon. I can believe this. I'm not going to sit there and be like, oh yeah, Amazon definitely, they reject all the woke. Like, of course they do. Obviously not. I'm not, retarded. So I can believe this, and I can believe that they were pushing for something. Apparently the idea was, we'll create the female Adeptus Custodes because it won't break law if you then put it in a show. So that's the whole reason why they were created. It was supposed to be a throwaway thing that people weren't really supposed to notice, like allegedly. And then it's just become a complete shitstorm. Culture, we'll go to you first, mate. Just sort of sat there staring off into the distance.
I'm heartbroken if we end up with this forced garbage. First of all, if he is trapped there, he should just speak freely, because they won't keep him. He should just tell the truth. It will make them look very, very bad, and it will throw even more shade at what's happening to Games Workshop right now. This was terrible. This move is terrible. This forced bullshit was terrible. This is going to be This is going to be one of those just hated shows. So it's like they can't get anything right, and when they do, it's accidental. It's because they didn't, like, Jennifer Sulky didn't get her freaking nose in it. It's the only way that things are successful, if they don't shove it full of, lecturing identitarian politics. Like I said, I mean, I'm beside myself. If this ends up being a woke show, it's gonna kill Warcraft, or excuse me,
If
I'm just saying, if we end up with female space marines, let alone custodes, in
we won't. They apparently they're definitely not doing that, but that's the reason why they created the custodies.
yeah, it's gonna go sideways. I mean, look, it's not like there weren't females in this lore, but they had to. They're trying to force them into places, so it makes me absolutely crazy. I'm trying to keep my head as level as possible right now, but like I said, 3D printer go brr.
I was just about to say that. Oh dear, oh dear. How about you, Nick? What do you reckon, mate?
So, this whoever negotiated this agreement with Amazon from Games Workshop should be fired. Basically they came to an agreement that gives Amazon the exclusive rights to the Warhammer 40K universe, and then Amazon, later on could possibly license rights to the universe, after Warhammer's released, but for them to be able to say whether or not they or put anything into what they're trying to do and force them to do anything is insane. Amazon should not be telling Games Workshop what to do at all. They should just, Games Workshop should do what they do and make their content, and Amazon just basically puts it out there on Amazon on Prime. So I don't know why they're allowing them. I mean, I guess they have to. I don't know the details of the deal, but I mean, I guess Amazon has the ability to basically tell them what to do at this point, which is weird. I mean, they should have negotiated that, like, where they don't have any input on any creative decisions, because we all saw what happened with the Rings of Power crap show that Amazon did.
Well, let's try, what happened to The Witcher. I mean, let's
and The Witcher too.
Yeah, I mean, this is like, Witcher version 2,
There, right there.
He's going to have to negotiate something in every one of his contracts that says that he has complete creative control, and nobody can change any of the things that are within that creative control.
Well, but it's not like Games Workshop would have been happy to do it. Like, I don't think it's Games Workshop that would have been pushing back on it. They're not that. They don't care that much about this stuff, I don't think. I genuinely don't think they care that much.
Yeah, and that's kind of obvious, because otherwise we'd be hearing more about a pushback.
Yeah. They go where the money goes. So then, Amazon being like, yep, cool. We want this. The Games Workshop will probably like, yeah, sure. No worries. It's like, okay, then, cool. All right.
Yeah, and ultimately it's going to end up backfiring, because they're going to probably end up losing money over all this.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the same with Wheel of Time. People can't be bothered with this stuff. So, it is what it is. It is what it is. Tom, you're staying awfully quiet here, chap.
I mean, at first I thought these were probably just rumors and bullshit. And people just trying to, equate one with the other, because I felt, because a lot of times people don't understand that the games and the shows and the movies and stuff like that are kind of created not in a vacuum, but as completely different kind of entities in a way. So I thought, no, this is fine. It's under Henry. But the more we're hearing about this, and if we're getting multiple sources saying this, it does make me wonder. But then again, it also makes you wonder, are are the sources just like a snake eating its own tail sometimes?
Mm.
Because we've run into that too, where you kind of just get sources that are saying stuff that other people had heard from other people already, and it's the same people you already heard stuff from. So it could be true. Could be true. I'm starting to wonder if it is. I have very little investment in this, but I know that, that Warhammer is very popular. So for those fans, I hope that this show is successful and Henry can keep it on the level that they want it to be as far as, lore and all that stuff.
It'll be
all I got to say about that.
It will be interesting. It will be very, very interesting to see what happens moving forward. But it is what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. It's disappointing if this is the case. But also, this is one of those kind of leaks which will reveal itself to be true because it will be in the show. So we'll know quite soon. Well, not quite soon, but at some point when this show / movie is established and created, we'll know at that point whether this leak is legit or not. So it'll be interesting to see how it comes out. Or if it comes out. But yeah, there you go. We will shuffle on now, I think.